Not here. American Financing, America's home for home loans.
At Spectrum Mobile, you get unlimited for $29.99 a month per line for 2 or more lines. Let's say you need 3 lines for your business. Did you just say $29.99 per line per month? That's what I... Because they're made to go together, like socks and sandals.
My dad wears those.
Sounds like a cool dude.
He's not.
For crazy fast speeds and more security, add Spectrum Mobile to your Spectrum Internet. Call, click, or visit a Spectrum store today.
Hi, I'm Jane King, and this is New to the Street, in person back here at the NASDAQ market site in New York City. This show is all about public, private, blockchain companies, the CEOs, the founders, and the innovators, bringing you lots of opportunities to consider. Here we go. For the very first time, you can spend gold globally on anything, like a cup of coffee, a pizza, a family vacation. You can use this currency with a Glint MasterCard, where you actually, it's like a credit card, but you're paying in gold. And with me is Jason Cousins, the CEO of GlintPay. A lot has happened since the last time we spoke. We've had the stock market, in a bear market. Crypto absolutely was vicious.
Yeah.
But you're dealing with gold, which all of a sudden seems mature and adult-like. I mean, how do you see what we're going through right now economically?
Well, of course, yeah. We've seen stock markets down 25% on the cryptocurrencies, down 50%. Stable coins have turned out not to be as stable as we thought they were. Terra, I think, went to 0.
Yeah.
Really, actually, quite a terrible time for a lot of people, and I'm sorry to imagine that a lot of people have lost a lot of money. But yeah, with war in Ukraine, with inflation out of control, where people are trying to, where do they turn to? And they've basically turned to the US dollar and gold.
Yeah.
As the only things they think they've got. They moved to cash, but dollar cash,
right,
and gold bullion. Gold bullion is the mature choice, and actually, of course, over time, gold is going to nail the dollar too, because the huge amount of money printing and inflation always leads to the purchasing power of the dollar decreasing over time. And I've said this before, but the dollar has lost more than 85% of its purchasing power in my lifetime. I mean, it's become nearly worthless.
Yeah.
But gold in that same time has increased its purchasing power by over 500%. So it's the ultimate, most, I think, reliable form of money there is. But unfortunately, people's perception is that you can't spend it. It's kind of being given this position, as something that's a barbarous relic, I think, is what Buffett called it. But of course, the dollar used to be backed by gold.
That's right.
And it was in 1971 that we had the Nixon shock, and he came off the gold standard, and he planted this magic money tree. And this magic money tree has grown and grown and grown to extraordinary sizes, and that's what's been fueling this bubble in stock market prices and cryptocurrencies. It's what's, I think, destroying the value of the dollar and other currencies around the world. I mean, all governments have planted their magic money trees.
Well, that's right. Now, I hear China may be starting to support their economy again.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it brings us back to gold. It's a global thing.
It's, gold is, I keep saying to people, it's created when two neutron stars collide. Its nature can't be corrupted. Anything whose nature is defined by human beings, such as government-issued currencies or cryptocurrencies, is subject to corruption, even with the best intentions. It's corruptible, it's changeable, and the reason why we love gold is because it can't be. You can rely on it. It's immutable. What a wonderful word. But Glint technology now allows you to use it as everyday money in electronic payments.
So let's talk about that. So let's talk about the Glint MasterCard. And just tell me, I know we've talked about it before, but explain how it works.
Really, really simple. Just get your phone out, download the Glint app, GlintPay, from your favorite app store. It takes a few minutes to register. About 80% of you will get passed and approved straight away automatically. About 20% of you will need to send in some additional identification documents. But it's all very easy to do. Then when you've done that, you can fund your account. You can have a card delivered to you, a MasterCard. So we've partnered with MasterCard, who it's accepted nearly everywhere in the world. Yeah. And once you've got funds in your account, you can use your dollars with the card if you want to, but what all of our clients do is buy some gold. And you can buy as little as 1 cent's worth of gold or millions of dollars worth of gold. And then when you choose to, you can spend that gold. So money is something you should be able to save, but also spend. And now we're giving everyone an equal opportunity to have their own personal gold standard and protect them from all the troubles we're seeing in the world.
Very interesting, Jason. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Clones in-house can severely drain both quality and costs for cannabis and hemp businesses. PharmaGreen Biotech is the key to growing high-quality plantlets. PharmaGreen services includes premium tissue cultured starter plantlets and live preservation of any plant species. Grow into the future of optimized plant growth with PharmaGreen. See our update at update.pharmagreen.ca.
Glint has developed proprietary technology that enables everyone to buy gold. Gold that's stored in Brink's vaults, insured by Lloyd's of London. With Glint's app and debit card, peace of mind is just a few taps away. It's easy to protect your hard-earned savings, and there are no minimums, hidden fees, or financial advisors required. To learn how to safeguard your future, go to glintpay.com or download Glint from your favorite app store.
Legacy is a DPoS DApp-based blockchain that will be initially based on the Tron network as a base to build on. And the focus is on community and true decentralization. And with me is the CEO, Justin Wayu of Legacy Network. Great to see you again.
Thanks for having me again.
So, it's been a lot going on in the crypto since the last time we talked. What's your opinion on what's going on, which seems to change on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, it's been crazy lately. I think a lot of it has to do with the volatility and everything. I think a lot of it is Bitcoin originally started as a way to transfer funds, be your own bank. That's always been the phrase for Bitcoin, and I think in reality it's closer to a store of value. I think going forward, we really need more things that are in that direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and the interesting thing is, what I had always heard was that it was a hedge against inflation.
Right.
Which has turned out not to be the case.
Right. It's been pretty, it's been kind of staying the same.
It's more like a tech stock.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, and that's how it's been behaving, and it's been following, the market.
Yeah. No, it's been really interesting. So, how does Legacy then fit into the picture? How does it kind of fit into the whole crypto picture and maybe solve this problem of the volatility?
Yeah, so that's kind of where my other project comes in. We're building a payment app called LootUp.
Yeah,
it's we recently merged with Quantum International Core. It's a publicly traded company on the pink sheets, and basically what we're trying to do is solve that initial problem that Bitcoin was trying to solve, which is being your own bank and actually making it usable.
Okay. And it's called LootUp.
Yes.
Is it an app? How come somebody use it?
So we're kind of taking the strengths of crypto and the strengths of traditional payment apps. On Bitcoin right now, you need to send to long addresses. Yeah. It's very confusing. If you send it to the wrong one, you're kind of screwed. And what we're doing with LootUp is, instead of long addresses, we're sending to just usernames, making it really friendly for mom and pa to use. We have a function that we're really proud of where you send it to the person on the app, and you can either cancel it on your side or confirm it on the other side. So it makes it a little safer.
Okay, thank you so much, Justin.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
SEKUR, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. SEKUR is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. SEKUR doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download SEKUR. Visit SEKUR.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
SEKUR is an instant messaging and email service that is encrypted and is good for confidential communications. And we do know and read about hacks almost on a daily basis. So with me is the CEO of SEKUR, Langahi, to talk about the company and then also some of the products you have for people. So let's just start with, you've got a new product, right?
Yes.
Chat by invite?
Yes.
Okay,
correct.
tell me about that.
So anyway, hi everyone, thanks for watching. Basically, we launched our new messenger tool with a chat by invite. What it means is that whether you're in the US, Canada, most of Latin America now, and some countries in Europe, Australia, New Zealand, you can text anyone with a phone number from these countries and invite them to chat with you. Now, why that's important? As you know, if you use a chat application, the recipient needs to have the same application. They also ask for your phone number every time when you download those. First of all, we don't ask for your phone number, so it's way more private and secure. The hackers don't know that you even have an account, that you're using it. And now you can chat with anybody in the world that has a mobile phone, because you can just text them and say, hey, Alain wants to chat with you. And then you click on the link, it's like, okay, and then we open a channel and we chat together in a private and secure manner, as if you had SEKUR. And the thing is that when I initiate the conversation, when I terminate it, even if you click again on the link, it's going to be gone. It's going to probably prompt you to buy the service. Okay. But what's really good is that you don't have to download anything. You don't have to register to anything. So it's great for businesses. You know, you have the financial industry, legal, medical, insurance, mortgage, I mean, you name it. People communicate a lot with their clients, and that's going to facilitate, and we're doing it worldwide. As you can see, we got Colombia, Mexico, a bunch of Latin American, Central American countries, US, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, Switzerland, obviously, and a couple of countries in Europe. And we're going to keep expanding, because you need to be able to have the SMS gateway to text the people from that country. So we keep adding countries.
So walk me through it. So I need the app, the SEKUR app, which I can download on iOS and Google?
Yeah.
Okay. And then through that, I can text somebody?
Absolutely.
Okay. So
first I would recommend you go to SEKUR.com.
Okay.
You buy the solution. After that, you can download, because you need to create your account.
I see.
And that needs to be done with us. Then you download on iOS or Android, you sign in, and then you basically can use chat by invite. You can use it using your address book, your contact book. It'll upload it for you. Or if somebody is not in your address book, you put their name, their phone number, it'll send them an invite to click, and then the channel is open. It's a private tunneling system, and the entire communication only happens in our Swiss encrypted server environment, as opposed to sending encryption keys back and forth over the internet. And that's critical to know, because when you send keys back and forth, they can be hacked. Whereas when it's in a server and it never leaves that server, you can be in Tokyo, I can be in Australia. We're both communicating in Switzerland. That's the cool part about it.
Interesting. Okay. And there's also an email. service?
Yes, so SEKUR is a bundle of the email service and the SEKUR Messenger. Now we launched SEKUR as a bundle. We have SEKUR Mail, which is just the email, and SEKUR Messenger. We also launched business services where you can have your domain name with us, or you can migrate your existing business. Most people probably, they already have a business and emails, and they don't want to have data mining or big tech. They want to move to us for privacy and security. Nobody will even know they moved because they can keep their domain. So that's pretty cool. So that's already out, and we have other products that are coming out as well. Our email application, which will let you have the Secure Send privacy feature from your phone without going through webmail, that's going to be ready mid-June, so in about a month from now. And then we have the Secure Voice, which is going to be in September, October, encrypted calls to anyone in the world without having to dial their phone number, which is again the same concept of you invite somebody with a link, they open, they can chat with you. And then SEKUR Pro, which is our answer to video conferencing.
Thank you so much, Alon.
Thank you, Jim.
Yep. Society Pass is building the next generation loyalty and data-focused marketing platform in Southeast Asia and South Asia. The ecosystem of technology-enabled companies work together to transform how consumers and merchants work with one another. And today, we've got the women of Society Pass, SOPA, which is traded here at the NASDAQ, with us to share more about the company. So we've got Cham No from Vietnam. So great to see you today. I love Zoom, how we're all able to talk to each other. Arby Pangdanaman from the Philippines, and I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. And then also Pamela Ah Young, who is in Singapore. So great to see you all this morning. And I guess, Cham, let's start with you. Just talk about your role at SOPA.
Hi, my name is Cham No. My role is, I had two roles. At the COO at Loveflare, I oversee day-to-day business, including HRs, administrations, supplier relations, sales planning, production, and finance, helping staff to resolve all the issues and problems. At the Vietnam country managers, I am responsible for all the legal matters, dealing with the local authorities, coordinate with the head business units for budgets, business performance, and conduct due diligence on Vietnam acquisitions.
Okay. Pamela, share your perspective from Singapore. What's your role there?
Okay. Hi, Jane. Thanks for having us. My name is Pamela Ah Young. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Society Pass, based in Singapore. Basically, I focus on three pillars. One is HR for SOPA. As we integrate companies, how would the organization look like for SOPA? Then I also look into the operations, getting the engine running for the entire SOPA ecosystem. And lastly is making sure that all the entities that we acquire are synergistically integrated in efficient manner.
Very interesting. And Arby, share your roles in the Philippines.
All right. Hello. I am Arby Pagdanganan. I'm the Philippines country manager and at the same time VP of product development. So as VP of product development, my key focus is to make sure that all the designs and requirements across all our platforms and apps for all business unit is aligned. And it's simply like I'm closing the gap between the technology and the business side. And I'm also aligning with marketing team, sales and operations team, to provide consistent brand message and elevate the design system as well. And as the Philippines GM, I'm managing the country operations and admin with P&L responsibility, and coordinates with finance, ops, and tech teams to conduct due diligence on our PH acquisitions.
And Cham, let's go back to you. If you can explain a little bit about SOPA's business. Like Dennis was here not too long ago, the CEO of the company, and he explained it. But if you could talk a little about the data collection, the loyalty programs, how does it work there in Vietnam?
I think that the loyalty is the right now in Vietnam is not really it not we has not operated yet, and we are on building it, and either Abby or Pam can talk about that is better than me.
Okay, great. And Pamela, can you talk about that? Okay. How does the business work there?
Okay, so the idea of the core existing of Society Pass, it's all about creating these 8 different verticals in Southeast Asia, as you know. So the first vertical that we're going to have is the loyalty platform, which is the core of our business. It ties all the different verticals together. The other verticals that we're looking into acquiring, first would be the lifestyle, which we did last year with the Flair. Then we are also into F&B delivery. We have merchant software. And the other exciting verticals that we're getting into are travel. We have digital media, telecoms, and F&B ordering. So all these eight verticals are organized in 5 different business units. Okay. And the focus is Southeast Asia market. And the idea is to aggregate consumers and merchants and create this ecosystem where it generates more revenue for merchants, leading to creation of customer loyalty. And once we have more customer loyalty created, it leads to more consumers for merchants. And once we have more consumers for merchants, then it leads to greater revenues for merchants. So all in all, it creates this virtuous cycle of revenue generation and loyalty creation. And that is what Society Pass is all about.
Okay. And
growing clones in-house can severely drain both quality and costs for cannabis and hemp businesses. PharmaGreen Biotech is the key to growing high-quality plantlets. PharmaGreen services includes premium tissue-cultured starter plantlets and live preservation of any plant species. Grow into the future of optimized plant growth with PharmaGreen. See our update at update.pharmagreen.ca.
is bringing digital innovation to boaters and boating. It's a global marketplace for buying, selling, and trading ships, boats, and yachts. And with me is CEO Joseph Johnson to explain this. So we talked about 6 months ago or so, right?
We were discussing this about then. A lot has happened since.
Oh, okay. So bring me up to date on what has happened, and then let's do that, and then we'll talk a little bit about what Bodum is all about.
Sounds great.
Okay.
So since we spoke last time, we've launched 2 iOS apps. One is called the Better Boating app, which is a crowdsourced mapping application for boaters, consumers, to go out, find their favorite destinations, locations on the water, as well as their service providers, and add them to a giant database of maps of the waterways all over the world.
Okay.
So that's the Better Boating app. And then we also released the Everything Boat app, which is literally everything boat in your hand on your phone.
So not boats, but everything, revolving boats or boats too?
Boats.
Okay.
Personal watercraft, charters, marinas, service providers. You need a hull scrape, you can find it there.
Yeah.
An electrician, captain, crew, everything right there in one app. So instead of having to go to a search engine and look all over in 12 different sites, they can come right to Bodum and find it all.
Okay. Well, I remember the last time we had talked about how this was one industry that hadn't been digitized, so to speak, but you're trying to change that.
We are changing it, actually. So this was the first, I guess, jump into that, where we were able to take what we've done in the back end, which is collecting all of the data and putting it together, and now delivering it into 2 different consumer applications for boaters to use, or people who want to get into boating. And then we've actually changed the site. Boatem.com now allows you to purchase a boat from any broker or any dealer that's on the site, get it insured, get the boat fact history on it, you can get financing, and now we're finalizing the integration on being able to buy any boat anywhere in the world with crypto.
Okay, very interesting. So you've got the website and the 2 apps. Can I rent a boat?
You can rent one.
Okay.
We connect to all the different charter companies as well.
Okay.
So charters and rentals, you'll be able to find those, and you can go get out on the water.
Yeah. So, okay, so that's a lot since the last time we talked. What is currently in the works? And is this available? You said iOS. Is it also on Android, or?
We don't have the Android apps out.
Okay.
For different reasons. Main one is that the iOS, I hate to say it, I was always an Android person, but iOS seems to have a little bit more power in those phones that we can use.
Okay.
It also has a really robust augmented reality system.
Oh, interesting.
So we're getting into Web3. We have some NFT drops coming down. And we're working with some augmented reality with the mapping to be able to really integrate everything together.
Interesting. So that's new too.
It is.
So you'd be able to, put on goggles and be able to see exactly what the boat, or how would that work?
Well, in the future, I think people will be doing that, and they'll want to go experience boating when they can't. Until that happens, we want to be able to give everyone the tools that they need while they're out on the water, or to get out on the water with tools so that they can understand what's around them. They can communicate and know other boaters. They can know where parties are. They can know where to get the right fuel, the cheap fuel, where to get the gear, and then of course communicate. Everything revolves around the boat. And so we focus on our consumers, but everything revolves around the boat on the site. So we're creating boat model pages, and then we're creating, so if you have one type of boat, you can learn everything about it, connect with everybody in the world that has that boat. So owners groups, they all come into one place. And then we also have our back end that we really never marketed, which is a full CRM for the boat brokers, the marinas, the dealers, the parts, people who sell parts, the charters, everyone. We have a CRM that covers the back end business for everyone, connects to our front end site, connects to the apps, and now we're connecting the whole world digitally.
So it's a social network in a way too.
It is.
In addition to this. So, and the NFT drop, what would that involve? Can you...
So I can talk about it. So we worked with Miami Beach artist Erin Lincoln, and she's created some amazing NFTs for us. And we'll be dropping them at the NFT street fairs that are coming up. And then we're also going to be launching them at boat parties, different yachting festivals, where they will be launched in the real world and also on Web3.
Okay.
So we're bringing it all together, which is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Digital tools for boating.
Now that sounds really exciting. If we're a boating enthusiast, you've really kind of got everything there that somebody would need.
That's exactly what we're doing.
Okay, so great to hear about your progress. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, Jane.
Thursday.
When must a soldier disobey a command because it's unjust?
America's history, the untold stories.
One of the most complex characters in American history.
Kelsey Grammer reveals the surprising secrets behind our country's legends and lies.
This mango hint water tastes just like mango. How can water taste just like fruit? How can our feet look just like our hands? How can our feet look just like our hands?
For a limited time, new customers get 40% off on our top flavors at drinkhint.com. That's 36 bottles for $36. Only $1 per bottle. And if you order now, we'll ship it right to your door for free.
Please tell me you heard that voice.
Hint. Water with a touch of true fruit flavor.
Being a dad, I'm able to see everything through my children's eyes.
I saw them everywhere. They had savor's remorse. And so did I. I made a quick decision on auto, home, and life insurance, but was the coverage okay? Would that company come through when I really needed them? Then I found Amica.
Avoid saver's remorse when you discover Amica. We're owned by our customers, not investors, so we focus on your best interests. That's why Amica was named one of America's best insurance companies by Forbes. This is auto, home, and life insurance you can feel confident about. Call for a quote.
Ready to skip invasive procedures by looking years younger? Now get visible, proven results for problem skin areas in just minutes. Try clinically proven Plexiderm for dramatic results and younger-looking skin at home in just 10 minutes.
Plexiderm is a really good alternative to getting injections because I had a huge 11 just 15 minutes ago, and right now there's no 11, and I look natural. It's not too tight, and it's great. I like it.
There's no smoke and mirrors. It's legit, and in just a few minutes, it's amazing.
Try Plexiderm today and see how it can work for you. If after using Plexiderm you're not showing your best face to the world,
Nearest grocery store. Getting directions.
Alexa will get us there in no time.
It's a Buick. Let's be real.
Don't make me turn this Alexa around.
Oh my. It's painful.
The Buick Enclave with available Alexa built-in. Ask Alexa, tell me more about Buick SUVs.
$11 a month really calls upon Americans, everyday Americans that can chip in and be a part of a promise that the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has made.
I live two lives. I live one life in a chair, and I live one life on my prosthetics. To be comfortable as an amputee, as myself, in my home, it's priceless.
The issues that I deal with on a daily basis, I don't have to worry. It allows me more time with my family. It allows me more time with my kids.
What did it mean to get the house on 9/11?
I mean, that was the starting stone of my journey, pretty much. It helped me kick weight, helped me get motivation again back in my life.
Daniel, he loved to serve. He loved being a dad. He loved being a husband. He was killed on his first deployment in Afghanistan. An IED just went off.
My husband lost his life to cancer. It was evidence that he was exposed to chemicals in Iraq. Having my mortgage paid off is just giving me the freedom to go and continue to fight. I will always preach what a burn pit is. Every single day there's someone new that I talk to.
It comes out of all of you how much you loved your husbands.
My husband is Jonathan Robert Farmer. He did 10 total tours, 7 combat, and 3 operational. The suicide bomber stood right next to my husband, the worst day of my life.
If you spend $11 to Tunnel to Towers, it won't be wasted.
We're never gonna forget. We're gonna always remember. This is the way to remember.
T2T is that foundation to give them a solid foundation to start building again.
That's how we build strong communities. I think that's why they should give to Tunnel to Towers, because it's making stronger people that in turn build stronger communities.
I'm a part of the family now.
The mortgage-free smart home from Tunnel to Towers has allowed me to be part of my family again.
You can help provide mortgage-free homes for Gold Star families for just $11 a month. Go to T2T.org.
For the night owls, for the early birds, for the mentors, and the tough mothers. There's Grainger, supplies and solutions for every industry, with real-time product availability online and next-day delivery options. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My investor viewer is so important to me because I'm invested in my viewers big time. There are smart people on Wall Street making money off all of this. Why can't you? We care about your success and we want to be a part of it.
Fox Business, invested in you.
So Wall Street fixated on consumer and producer prices, but
I like that data to also find out where you can find pricing power for corporations, because a lot of times it's an investment opportunity. So on that note, I was going through this Atlanta Fed now GDP survey over the weekend. They see healthy consumer growth. They see exports rebounding. Plus, listen, putting the Fed guessing game aside, the intellectual property notes there I thought were phenomenal, and that would be great for tech stocks. So first and foremost, is this the right combination for a soft landing, and can we glean some buying opportunities out of this? Let's ask CEO and CIO of Laffer Tengler Investments, Nancy Tengler. And Nancy, obviously it's not the roaring 20s, but it's not recession either. If the Atlanta Fed is right about this quarter, we don't have back-to-back negative quarters. What does it mean for the market?
I think it'll generally be positive, Charles. This has been the sell everything market where Snap disappoints and you sell all the social media companies. Target disappoints and you clear out everything retail. Negative GDP print and we're in recession, which is not the case if you dig under the numbers. The negative part came from us importing more goods, which is equivalent to higher demand. So I think we really need to dig in, which is what you've done with the Atlanta Now numbers. I would say that we already knew that growth was slowing in 2023. But we saw underneath the numbers not just strong consumption in the GDP report, but $1 trillion in additional savings was added by consumers. That's to already $4 trillion in savings. So I'm pretty optimistic. 80% of consumers do 90% of the spending. So I think we will continue to see the consumer strong and spending.
There's one part of this report that really caught my eye, thinking about you, 7.4% on intellectual properties. Listen, you talked about investing based on the fact that companies, listen, they have to invest in this stuff. You've got a wage spiral out of this world. Companies can't find the right talent. They're overpaying for the talent they are getting. Is this still a place where you want to be invested?
Absolutely. I mean, if you back tech out of the earnings growth numbers this year, earnings only grow 5.7%. So they still have plenty of contributing to do. We added bots in our dynamic inflation strategy, and we continue to add to many of the names that I've talked about on your show, the cloud names, which if you look at cloud, it's only at about 40% of its total addressable market. So we want to be in those names. All those companies beat last quarter, and some raised guidance. So thinking of like ServiceNow and Microsoft. We'll see what happens with Salesforce today. That's a little bit of a different story. We recently added old tech name in the cloud, Oracle, in our portfolios. And I'll just point out an interesting story that caught my eye. Brinker International, which is the parent of Chili's, is now employing bots, or they're trying them out as hostesses and hosts and as food runners. Yeah. So I love that. It's a great way to solve the problem. By the way, folks listening on radio, the stock symbol for that is EAT, E-A-T. All right. I got about a minute or so to go. Lots of comparisons to the 6 bear market bounces between 2000 and 2002, 5 bear market bounces between 2008, 2009. I'll throw it in there. During the Great Recession, there were 6 bear market bounces. So was last week a bear market bounce? I think it could have been, Charles. I mean, I wrote a piece for our clients called The Stockdale Paradox. Admiral Stockdale was a prisoner in Hanoi Hilton. He was the senior prisoner. And his view was that you never confuse faith that you are going to prevail in the end with the discipline of confronting the brutal facts. So investors need to be prepared for more of this. It's not going away. We still have a Fed that is now being jawboned by the president, but not really. So we're going to continue to hear rhetoric. And I think until that passes and we go back to earnings, there are very few catalysts that are going to drive this market other than the headlines. By the way, Admiral Stockdale was a great American. Of course, he had that flub in the debates that unfortunately too many people remember him by. I got less than a minute to go, Nancy. What's your biggest worry? My biggest worry is Washington. I mean, we're starting to hear plans for spending, build back smaller. The infrastructure bill has really kind of been stalled due to politics in some ways. And then we've got a Federal Reserve that tends to, let's just say I'm eagerly awaiting their quiet period, because that's when stocks can trade on fundamentals. But it's really bad policy out of Washington, which is kind of what's gotten us into this mess. Nancy, thank you so much. Always appreciate it. And speaking of policy, folks, first, over the weekend, a man disguised as an older woman in a wheelchair threw a cake at the Mona Lisa. It was he was protesting climate change. Luckily, the painting had a glass in front of it, but there's little to protect society from more desperate measures that are being tried or on the drawing board
to address climate change. Now, my next guest is a climate change advocate, but he has railed against policies that are either too ham-fisted or simply won't work. Bjorn Lomborg is the president of the Copenhagen Consensus. He joins me now. So last week, the United Nations released a report saying that the global disasters have quintupled since 1970 and that they're going to increase another 40% in the coming decades. They warn that humanity is on a spiral of self-destruction. That's scary stuff, but you said it was the report itself that was scary, or the disaster. Why?
Yeah, Charles, it is scary stuff, and it's the kind of thing that we hear all the time. But what they've actually done is they've simply looked at how many disasters did we note back in the 1970s? How many do we note now? How many are in the newspapers? Of course, there's a lot more disasters now because we have much better reporting. The people who actually collect this data say you can't use it the way you've done. Basically, they're just making scare stories. And here's the interesting fact. If you look at how many people die, which is a much, much harder measure to tweak, it turns out that we've seen a dramatic decline in the number of people that die. Over a century ago, about 500,000 people died from climate-related disasters. Last year, it was less than 7,000 people. We've seen a decline of 99% in death from climate-related disasters, yet we are being told by the UN, oh my God, there's going to be more and more. No, there's going to be more and more reporting, but actually people will be dying less and less.
That is a remarkable stat. 500,000 to 7,000. That's mind-boggling.
Because we are rich, and when you're rich, you're much better protected. You're resilient. Look, remember, we've lifted a lot of people out of poverty. It used to be that you didn't have any opportunity to trade. So if you were starving in your area, you would be dead. Now, of course, we can get relief in, and the market mechanism to make sure even if you can't produce your own food, you will buy it from somewhere else. And we have knowledge about where hurricanes hit and all these things. It's not rocket science. It doesn't mean global warming is not a problem, but it means we need to stop being scared witless by these kinds of reports that have very little basis in fact.
It just feels like the only thing in policy that these officials, when they have a policy agenda, it's always about fear and nothing else. You brought up food, of course. We're in the midst of a global food crisis. Production has absolutely collapsed. We know prices are skyrocketing. Over the weekend, you did post a piece on how to alleviate this looming global hunger crisis. How would you go about it?
Well, there's a couple of things. What I wrote about in my piece, which was in Globe and Mail and many other places around the world, was basically stop thinking that organic food is the right answer. Unfortunately, where I live in the EU and many other places, you believe that that's the future. But of course, it's much less productive. If we want to get food to people, we need to be more productive, not as organic foods is less productive. It almost requires twice as much land, destroys nature, and actually produces higher cost and less food. That's not the way forward. But of course, also, remember, because we're so scared about global warming, a lot of people are suggesting that we should produce a lot of food that we then burn in our cars. Bad idea again. Biofuels is not the right solution. Probably it almost emits as much CO2 as fossil fuels, but it also destroys a lot of food. Again, we need to be smarter about this.
Yeah.
Remember, global warming is a real problem, but let's fix it smartly, not stupidly, and certainly not in a way that actually leaves less food on the table.
It does seem logical that we wouldn't burn food for fuel unless you were trying to win the state of Iowa. Bjorn,
there you go.
Thank you very much. Great stuff. Appreciate it. Thank you. So once unstoppable, mega growth stocks have given back all of their gains they made last year. But is this just a blip, or maybe there's just something to this? Maybe there's something constructive about thinning out the herd. We've got legendary tech analyst Mark Mahaney next.
If you invest in the S&P 500, your portfolio may be too concentrated in big companies. This can leave it imbalanced and exposed when performance varies. Invesco's S&P 500 Equal Weight ETF RSP is spread equally across the S&P 500, which reduces potential concentration risk and helps keep your portfolio in balance. Stay in balance with Invesco's RSP. Before investing, carefully read and consider fund investment objectives, risks, charges, expenses, and more in prospectus at Invesco.com.
Camp for less at Camping World. Right now, get a new Coleman Lantern 17B, this camping starter kit, 2 years of Good Sam Road Rescue, and a 3-year Good Sam RV warranty for just $149 a month. That's less than $5 a day. Plus, we have the best selection of camping and RV supplies starting at just $9.99. We've got an RV for every lifestyle and a payment for every budget. Camping has never been more affordable. You always camp for less at Camping World. Click, call, or come into your local Camping World today.
Living with metastatic breast cancer means being relentless because every day matters. And having more of them is possible with Verzenio, the only one of its kind proven to help you live significantly longer when taken with fulvestrant, regardless of menopause status.
Verzenio plus fulvestrant is for HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer that has progressed after hormone therapy. Diarrhea is common, may be severe, or cause dehydration or infection. At the first sign, call your doctor, start an antidiarrheal, and drink fluids. Before taking Verzenio, tell your doctor about any fever, chills, or other signs of infection. Verzenio may cause low white blood cell counts, which may cause serious infection that can lead to death. Life-threatening lung inflammation can occur. Tell your doctor about any new or worsening trouble breathing, cough, or chest pain. Serious liver problems can happen. Symptoms include fatigue, appetite loss, stomach pain, and bleeding or bruising. Blood clots that can lead to death have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have pain or swelling in your arms or legs, shortness of breath, chest pain, and rapid breathing or heart rate, or if you are nursing, pregnant, or plan to be.
Every day matters, and I want more of them.
Ask your doctor about everyday Verzenio.
Men over 45, do you have a frequent urgent need to urinate day and night? I have good news. Presenting the UroLift system, an outpatient treatment that simply reopens the channel to increase flow with no cutting. Yes.
Most side effects are mild to moderate. Serious bleeding and infection events are rare. Visit urolift.com.
Ask your urologist about UroLift or call 800-811-4800 today.
Relic Health is a profitable global medtech company achieving strong quarter-over-quarter revenue growth. With a rapidly expanding base of over 120 U.S. clients, Relic expects to uplist to the NASDAQ this year. Relic Health Technologies.
We answered some questions on Angie. Contractors pop up on your screen.
You can read other people's experiences.
To me, Angie is a time saver.
I scheduled it right then and there.
Get started at Angie.com today.
I predict a historic event in 2022 will cause a massive shift in the wealth divide. This will affect anyone who owns stocks. And after 50 years on Wall Street, I'll tell you up front, most people will never see it coming for the simple reason that nobody wants this to happen. Nobody. I predict a new form of technology will disrupt everything, and it's all a direct result of 2020. Now I'm predicting a huge change in the way thousands of companies will do business in 2022. The best way to prepare is simply to get the facts for yourself and see what's coming. To learn more, visit the website below using either your computer or a tablet. You'll receive my full brand new warning to the public about the huge event I predict for 2022 and a free recommendation of the #1 investment to buy right now before it's too late. I urge you to visit the website below today and get the full story while there's still time for you to prepare.
So perhaps the most mysterious aspect of this market sell-off is how hard these mega growth tech names have been smashed. Listen, I suspect even people who felt that they were expensive, you got to marvel at the way they have swooned